vehicles to have Spanish writing in police stations in Guyana, especially those stations in Regions 1, Region 2, Region 7, Region 8, Region 9. Those are all regions only in Essequibo. So here you have these bright boys. Venezuela is claiming, but let me give them this. These signs, I think, were put on these vehicles prior to this new aggressive stance by Venezuela. So I'm giving them that. But since Venezuela has now come out with this renewed claim and doing all these gymnastics and all these maneuvering, this is the time for you to say, let those signs go. Let those signs be removed. And that is one of the things we as Guyanese should call on now. That the police, the Minister of Home Affairs, Robeson did say in a release, he's alleged to have said that it was a trial. The signs, but I don't know how you're going to trial these things. I put it in all the vehicles. He said it was a trial. Well, the trial should come to an end immediately. The trial of putting Spanish word policia on the side of the vehicles and other words in the police station should stop immediately. Someone did tell me, remark that Region 3 is also in Essequibo. Not the whole Region 3. In Region 3, which you have Purica and those places, they are part of Essequibo, but the western part of, the eastern part rather, is fully in Demerara. So remember, the border between Essequibo and Demerara, across the river, there is the Borosiri Creek. The Borosiri Creek is the border. And when we talk about Region 3 encompasses both the part east and west of the Borosiri Creek. So it is not true to say that Region 3 is only and fully in Essequibo. And you know, we teach, so you also want to make sure that that is known. But I'm saying that, you know, I looked up the definition for treason. And I'm saying that the act of putting these signs, Spanish writing, police station, on police vehicle, can be deemed to be treasonous. Because treason is giving aid and comfort to the enemy. That is what the dictionary says. Treason is giving aid and comfort to your enemy. And I'm saying that Venezuela now must be seen as our enemy. And to go to the point where you're now putting Spanish. Remember, I said Venezuela is our only Spanish-speaking neighbor. Only Spanish-speaking, and they have laid claim to two-thirds of your country. And these bright people that we have decided that the police vehicles in that in that area claimed by Venezuela should now have Spanish writing. My God, how more stupid can these people be? How more stupid? And we should demand that those things be removed. And if they were looking for a way out, if they were looking to save face to take it out, Venezuela has given them the opportunity. Venezuela has provided them with the opportunity to have those signs removed. And it is even more ridiculous than that. But let me bring in CC, and then I'll come back a little later. CC, let's hear your further take on this matter.
Well, you know, I had a bit of training, and in things like this border issue and other major issues, I can use an acronym. They say we should look at our DIME, DIME. And the D we're talking about is diplomacy. And that's where the government should be focusing heavily on diplomacy. Those foreign nations that are very helpful to us, that are very supportive of us. And only the nations, the organization of American states and all of the Commonwealth, the CARICOM and all those things that we should be fighting quietly, quiet diplomacy and aggressively in other areas. Diplomacy should be very, very important. Then is when we need to strengthen our foreign affairs. We take the greenest man and we send his Guyana ambassador to Venezuela. Venezuela should have a career diplomat. and I carried the diplomat in Caracas with the relative staff and equipment to deal with the situation. They were sending Dr. Venus Charles. They were sending a medical doctor there in the heart of it. We need to do much, much more in terms of our diplomacy. Part of our dime. The intelligence. Our intelligence has got to come into play. The war hasn't started, but we need to be prepared for any eventuality. Intelligence is critical. Always remember the Israelis surrounded by 50 million enemies and they can't beat them because of their intelligence, because of the Mossad and others, that we need to have proper intelligence. And we have some little packets, I will call them out, like our Regional Intelligence Committee, our special branch, head of Joint Intelligence Committee, or CIA, or what you call it, the Joint Service Coordinating Council, and all those intelligence agencies got to come into play. And not only intelligence in Guyana, intelligence we're looking for coming out of Venezuela. And we have all those migrants that they keep in here, and also give them passport and citizenship. I'm certain that many spies are in that thing there. So our intelligence is critical. We need to look at our intelligence. M in the military. And when I talk about the military, I'm not only talking about the Guyana Defense Force. I'm talking about the Joint Service, more so the army and the police. What's happening at our border locations? Places like Kaikan, Eterimbang, Imbatiro, Purimo, Moroano, Aquario, Yarakito, and Purimo and those places. What is going on there? Those are key border areas. Do we have the relative staff there? Are we talking to them? Do they have the relevant training? Are we looking in terms of later on they've been trained in some jungle warfare and other issues that we need to deal with our personnel? And apart from that, we need to develop, give them the necessary equipment. Do they have boats? Do they have vehicle? Do they have equipment? The thing is that we're not looking at, and then our economics, our economy is now on the high sea. In our 200-mile economic zone, Barra Jagdeo said that he gonna give them access through our waterway, to the Atlantic. The Atlantic is where the thing there, and Jagdeo said he gonna give them access. And when we talk about waterways, got to be talking about the Cayuni, the Mazaroni, the Potaro, the Rupununi, and the Essequibo straight through our waterways where there is the economic boom. So I'm saying, I can develop it but short of time. I'm saying briefly that we need to look at our dime. Diplomacy, intelligence, our military, and our economy.
Well said, my brother. Well said. Well said. Well said. There's a comment here, and I should put it up. I will put it up for you to see because I agree. Look, this is what this contributor is saying. Even high political officers are using the word dispute. And he says here, we do not have a border dispute with Venezuela. That was settled by the 1899 arbitration. What has developed is a controversy occasioned by Venezuelans' repudiation of the award decades after accepting it. Education is key. Brother Winston, I agree, and that's what we're saying. Education is key. People must be taught how this thing came about. There was the 1899 arbitration which says that, look, this is what the border, when Essequibo belongs to Guyana. And then if my memory serves me correct, long after they developed this controversy, where they say some man, I think so, some French person on his dying bed claimed that there was some jiggery-poggery going on for this award, for this thing to be awarded to Guyanese. And it was, he claimed it was a corrupt process. Long after, decades after, that came up. So yeah, we don't have a dispute. The thing was settled in 1899. And the man should know, because he been out since then. That man who gives every Thursday, he get press conference, and he knows everything. I refer to the vice president, he knows everything. So it seems that he was around since 1899 when this award, this arbitration was done. And therefore, he should be able to advise us as to exactly what took place. But this is rubbish. We can't sit back. And as we said, this is not to go to no military fight. We already have the international committee on our side, but we must show them that we as Guyanese are united in this issue. We should have rallies. Somebody said we should go and picket certain places. Let the world see. Things must flash across the world that Guyanese are united. And people are going to ask the question, what is this about? Then they're going to go back to see how spurious this claim is. But as I've said, you ask people now, they're up on the radio, they're talking about Flavor the Dance, they're there making us at the side with the president photo and the squatter photo. And you don't see nothing in relation to this border controversy. Not a dispute, as Winston pointed out, the controversy that they have caused. Because having agreed to the award in 1899, they wait decades after to say, well, look, we haven't agreed to it any longer. But as we have said, the matter is before the ICJ. Venezuela objected. Venezuela said they argued all kind of thing to say that the ICJ does not have jurisdiction to determine this matter. The ICJ ruled that they do have jurisdiction. That is the earlier this year. So let the matter go through this legal process. But no, they don't want that. They're saying now that we're going to have a referendum. A referendum is a sham, because the people have been taught in school all the years, once they're small, that Essequibo belongs to them. So what do you think the referendum is going to say? The referendum is going to endorse that Venezuela, endorse Venezuela's claim to Essequibo. And I'm saying again, that is even more reason that this whole decision by the whoever it is, whether it's the president, whether it's the minister of affairs, whether it's the man who's squatting in the chair of the commissioner of police, to have the word policia painted on the side or emblazoned on the side of the police vehicles, and to have similar Spanish signs in police stations, especially in the Essequibo region, is tantamount to treason, and it should be removed forthwith. It should be removed. That is one of the things we as Guyanese should demand. Apart from demanding that we educate our people about this issue and that we rally and show support on this issue, we should demand that those things be removed. Nowhere else in the world, people have said to me, and the excuse that they gave, oh, we have a large Spanish-speaking community and we have to cater for them. No, you go to Texas, large Spanish-speaking community, go to Little Havana in Miami, go to Arizona, go to New Mexico, go to New York. Those people have millions of Spanish-speaking people. And you don't see any sign in Spanish because the color of the police vehicle, and you know, it's insulting people's intelligence to say that you have the word policia for a Spanish-speaking person to understand that that is a police vehicle. You have the color of the vehicle, you have flashing lights, you have all of those things, which identifies the vehicle as being a police vehicle. And to have these signs in the police station is even more ridiculous. Because you said, all right, the people can't come in and recognize the inquiries office. So you put the word inquiries office in Spanish and other language. So all right, they come in there now and they can identify the inquiries office. Can the persons who are manning those offices relate to them in Spanish or whatever other language? You don't see how foolish this thing is? You put the language, but you don't have anybody in the station who can interact with these persons and the language. Ridiculous, atrocious, terrible, and should be removed immediately. That's something we should rally about. Remove it immediately from off the police vehicles. Right? And as my colleague said, I am sure with that influx of Spanish-speaking people, especially the Venezuelans, into the country, I'm sure they get the Trojan horses coming in there to do all the mapping. They know where your headquarters here is. You know all your police station. They know all your KPs and your VPs. They know all of these things. because you don't have any proper way of vetting these people before they come in. And then now you're going to put your vehicles and your police station in Spanish. But I cannot attend this atrocity. That is exactly what it is. And I said it's tantamount to treason. And we should demand that those things be removed forthwith. Forthwith. And if they refuse to do that, we should ask that they go. It's about time we ask for some people to take a flight. Take a flight. The Minister of Home Affairs, I think it's time he retire. The man who is squatting the commissioner's chair, who got a extended period, unlimited period, because the president says he's extended to a time to be determined. Well, you should determine that the time is now. We should demand and determine, in light of all of what is going on, the Patterson's incident, the other incident of violation, the report by the Complaints Authority, and now Signs and Police with Spanish, we should say, thank you for your service, go your way in peace. That is what we should say. We should start demanding. If they don't do this, we should show them that we, the people in Guyana, we are the ones who have the power. We are the ones who have the power to show to the world that we are united on this Venezuelan controversy, and that we are united in ensuring that these Spanish signs and so on are removed. I know people have been saying that very soon, I guess you're going to have street signs in Spanish. That is what people are saying. Very soon you're going to have that. And let me say this. We did a short clip on this same issue with the word policia on the side of police vehicles. A short clip is about 12 minutes. It's there on YouTube. It's there on Facebook. It was posted on the 18th of this month, just over a week. It has had, when I checked this morning, 98,000 plus views on Facebook, and a lot of views on YouTube. So it's over, combined, it's over 100,000 views that short clip has had. And 99.9% of the people are in agreement that the signs should be removed. 99. I mean, it's not a scientific survey, but if we were to look at that, 99.9% people say that there's no way this sign. And I point out some of the things, same things I've been saying. That you go all over the world, whatever language the country speak, Guyana is an English-speaking country, and therefore the sign should be in English. And if the Spanish people come to Guyana, then they should assimilate. But I don't know who got this idea. I understand the people saying the idea came from right at the top. Well, right at the top should get involved and tell them, reverse this thing. Let me bring in back Mr. Conway to have his final say on this issue. When I say final for today, because I suspect we gonna come again on the issue. CC, let me hear you.
Yeah, I totally agree with you that we are aiding and then abetting the Venezuelans when we put up those signs, Spanish signs at our police stations and our buildings, and we paint them on our vehicles. Total nonsense. As you rightly say, it could within the ambit of treason. We are aiding and abetting them. And I say that we should start developing our frontiers. Use the oil money to develop our frontiers. If you don't develop them, you are likely to lose them. And look at our military. Do we have a rapid response capability? Do we have the equipment? We have a chief of staff who could be emotionally disturbed by person just uttering words. I don't know if you hear the sounds of guns, what will happen. And we have an extended squatter in the place that now it's time to look at real leadership. Don't wait and say nothing gonna happen. We need to be prepared. And I repeating, take off them Spanish thing we get at station. Take them off in the vehicles. We can't be accommodating the Spanish people. I think it's yesterday or something. I saw an article by Hamilton Green, the former mayor, and he reminded us, when in Rome, you gotta do as the Romans do. If the Spanish men come, they gotta abide with our laws. We can fix things to suit them. They gotta abide by laws, and we need to make sure that we be aggressive, diplomacy.